Hello folks, On the Hill with Terry here. Today I am going to make a cauliflower crust pizza. And I'm going to make the crust and then I'm going to put a little toppings on top. So what we need is 2 cups of cauliflower, 1 egg, and 1/4 cup of Parmesan. Now, the way that I'm going to do this, I am not going to use this grater because some people like to use the grater. I'm not going to use the grater. I'm too lazy to use the grater. I'm going to use this, the chopper. Okay, so let's get this video started. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up the cauliflower. I'm going to cut it in small pieces so I can fit it in my chopper. I'm going to take this green stuff off. We don't need that. So I just need the cloves. I purchased the cauliflower at Aldi's. It wasn't that expensive. So I'm going to fill this up. And I think that this will make one small pan of pizza. So I'm going to make a small one without any meat, and then the second one I'll put some pepperoni on it. It looks like it's about 4 cups. So what I'm going to do now is wash the cauliflower, give it a rinse. So I'm going to measure 2 cups after chopping. Now this is a Ninja. My mom bought me this Ninja a while ago and I still use it. So I'm going to take the top off here and I'm going to put the cauliflower right inside here and chop it up. And all I need is 2 cups. I'll make this a little smaller. I love this little machine because this machine gets the job done. And it's much faster than grating. I'll put this back on. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Okay. We're going to measure out 2 cups. We'll set this to the side. I'll measure out 2 cups. And I don't think this is enough right now, but we'll just keep chopping until we get there. So that's about 1 cup. Keep chopping. Add some more cauliflower. I love cauliflower pizza. So delicious. And like, it's low in carbs. So if you're looking for a low carb treat, this is definitely a low carb treat. And if you're vegan, this is also good because there's no meat. Tap, tap. Let's see how much we have now. Just to the side so you guys can see. I have right now, so far, I have is a cup. And I need 2 cups. And if I go over 2 cups, that's okay. Almost there. So is that 2 cups? Pretty close. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Put the blade back in. You guys, if you try this recipe, I think you'll love it. You'll love this recipe. Tap, tap. Yeah, this will do it. Now this is going to be extra, so I'm not going to put it all in here. Just a little bit, not all of it. Well, it looks like I can put all of it. The next thing I'm going to do is put this in the frying pan and cook it, because I need to dry it out, because cauliflower has a lot of water in it. So I need to dry it out so that I can add my egg and my cheese. So I'm going to put this in the frying pan. Here we go. I'm just going to drop it in a skillet. Boom. And it looks like little dry pieces of rice or little pieces of confetti. I don't know. We're going to cook that up and dry it out. Just needs to dry out.
I have the stove.
I'm just cooking it a little bit because I don't want it to turn colors or anything like that. I just want to dry it out. And this takes a few minutes.
I want to try to keep it a certain texture.
It's going to be,
because the drier the cauliflower, the better integrity your crust will have.
It's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want your crust to be like the regular store crust. It will never reach that point, but we don't want this to be too moist. So I'm just kind of keep moving it around because I don't want it to stick. And this is no butter or oil or anything like that. I'm just moving it around so it can dry. Some people put their cauliflower in the boiling water and boil it, and then they take a cheesecloth like this and they squeeze it. Take a cheesecloth and squeeze it. I don't feel like doing that. That's too much work. So I'm just going to do this. Dry it out. This recipe is time consuming. It takes over an hour to make this pizza because you have to wait for the pizza to dry out in the oven. You have to leave it in the oven for at least 30 to 45 minutes so it can cook. So when you're making cauliflower pizza, have patience. So we're getting there. A little bit longer. And I keep moving it around. I don't want my cauliflower to burn. Okay, so I think this is dried out enough. It's starting to stick to the pan a little bit, but it's not burned. So what I'm going to do now is just sit it to the side and let it continue to dry. In the meantime, while it's drying, I'm going to get the other mixture ready. Let this sit aside. And I'm going to get my other mixture ready. Turn the fire off.
The cauliflower needs to cool before I can handle it, because I have to put my hands in it to mash it down together to make the pie crust.
Okay, dry up my bowl here. So we're gonna do 1 egg. Love this little tool. That looks pretty good, right? Then I'm gonna add 1 cup of Parmesan cheese to this recipe. Just a measuring cup, the Parmesan. That looks pretty good. I can smell the Parmesan. Now some people use 2 eggs. Some people use 1. I like to use 1 egg. It all depends on how you feel. I think when you put 2 eggs, it tastes more like eggs than pizza. And that's not the taste that I'm going for. So now what I'm gonna do now is add my cauliflower. So I think it's all cooled off by now. Add this right to my mixture. Almost have it all. Okay. Well, now what I'm going to do is mix all this together so that I can make my crust. So this is going to make a small pizza, and I have a big pizza pan. Smells so good. This little tool really mixes it up good. Now, what I have to do, guys, is get my hands dirty, because you can't do this without dirtying your hands. You have to put your hands in this mixture. You gotta put your hands in here so that it will make it stick together. Okay, so while I have that all mixed together, now what I'm gonna do is put my parchment paper. And a lot of people try to make this recipe without parchment paper, and what ends up happening is your pizza ends up sticking to your pan. So smart idea, parchment paper. Okay, put the parchment paper on the pan. Just rinsing my pan off because I got some cauliflower on it. Put my parchment paper. I'm going to put 2 pieces on here because my pan is so big. I'm going to put 2 pieces of paper. So just layer one on top of the other. Like so. Very good, very good. So there you have it. So now I can push this down to try to, you know, keep it so that it doesn't move. And then I'm going to put this on and press it down. And you can make it round, square, you can do whatever you want. And I'm going to make mine round. So you got to put your hands in there and press it down so you can feel it. So it's kind of moist. It's not as dry as, or it's not as wet, I mean, as it would have been if I didn't dry it out. But you see how it's sticking together to make like a little circle. And I'm trying to thin it out, but not too thin. Not too thin. And I want the edges to be kind of up, so when I put the sauce on, the sauce doesn't roll out the sides. So this is like a small pan personal pizza size. Like pan pizza size for one person. My family loves these pizzas. They love cauliflower pizza. So you see we have almost a perfect circle here. And I'm going to put it in the oven and I'm going to bake it for about 25 minutes. Now while that one is baking, while this one is baking, I'm going to make another one so that I can put some pepperoni on it. So we'll have two pizzas. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven.
Okay, now my pizza is ready to come out the oven. It's been about 20-25 minutes. And here I am cooking a double recipe because I'm making a larger pizza. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? That looks awesome. Yeah, that looks great. That's cauliflower, guys. That's all it is. No bread, low carbs, and low fat. I'm glad I placed it on the parchment paper, because if I wouldn't have placed it on the parchment paper, it would have stuck to my pizza pan, and that would have been a whole mess.
So here, my cauliflower crust has cooled off. I'm going to lift it up so you can see how it is. See? If I didn't use the parchment paper, this would have stuck. But this is great. This is just like a pizza crust. So now what I'm going to do
The cauliflower
is add
has cooled
toppings
off
to this.
now, so we can work with
So I
it.
wanted to add some sauce. You can add any sauce you want. I'm going to use my favorite spaghetti sauce. Okay, I'm going to use my favorite spaghetti sauce and spread it. Try to keep the sauce in the middle, because I don't want it to spill out on the sides, right? And there you go. It looks awesome. Then I'm going to add some fresh tomatoes. Oh, that looks so delicious. Add some fresh tomatoes, put one in the middle. The next thing I'm going to add is some garlic powder and onion powder, because we have to put garlic powder and onion powder on every ingredient. That's the onion powder. And here's my garlic powder. Just a little bit, just for flavor, guys. There you go. Now I'm going to add some parsley, because I love parsley. Just sprinkle it on. Oh, that looks so good. Now, the next thing I'm going to add is some basil. little bit of basil. Yes, look at that. And then of course, my adobo. Now we can stop right here with this recipe, or what I'm going to do is take it up a notch and add some mozzarella. Add some mozzarella cheese to the top, and then I'm going to stick it back in the oven for a few minutes. That looks delicious. Just going to add a little bit more because I love cheese. That looks so marvelous, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to put this back in the oven, and then I'll bring it back so you can taste it. So now we're going to do the large pie. Same thing, we have to add the parchment paper. I'm going to get 2 pieces because my pan is so big. Then I'm going to put my crust right on top.
After you place your cauliflower in the middle of your pan, you should really cut the edges off the paper. I mean, the extra paper off, because the extra paper is not necessary, and I forgot to cut the paper off.
That looks awesome and amazing. So, while that's cooling, I'm going to put the bigger one in the oven. So let's get the big one. This is the big one. I put it all together already. Just need to pop it in the oven. This one might cook a little bit longer. Look at this one. I am going to put it on a plate and cut it. So let's do that. Let's put it on a plate and cut it. Here you have it. I'm going to cut it. It looks so delicious. Like I said, this is a personal pan pizza, but you can definitely share it. Let's serve a piece. We'll serve up a piece, just so you can see how it works. Look at that. Now it's not super duper thick crust. It's not super thick, but it is holding up well. So I'm going to try a piece. Just try a piece and see how it works out. See if I can fold it and try a piece. It doesn't fall apart. I tried to hold it. So just try this recipe. This is really delicious, and you can have pizza without bread. No carb, no calorie, and it's delicious. Okay. I'm gonna show you. So good. When I finish making the large one, so good. Okay. That's delicious. Okay, it looks kind of cool. Looks pretty cool. So I'm going to start putting the toppings on. But I think I'm still going to grab the pot holder just in case. Okay, I'm going to take it over to the table and we'll put the toppings on. Oh, they look so good. Doesn't that look wonderful? So I'm going to add my sauce like I did before. This is the sauce I'm going to add. I'm going to try to turn the camera around so I can see what I'm doing. There you go. So I showed you the sauce already? Yeah, there's the sauce. Some light over here. And after I put all this on, I'm going to put it back in the oven. There you go. Spread that all around. Make it look real pretty. You see the edges? I put the edges up so that the sauce wouldn't spill out when I'm baking. This is a great low carb. The only thing that really has carbs in it is the tomato sauce. And you can do this without tomato sauce if you like. Oops, went over the side there. It's a little. So now I'm going to add all my seasonings like I did before. You know we have to put onion powder and garlic powder in every ingredient. So you know you could season the crust. But I didn't season the crust because I feel like if you're gonna put seasoning on the top, then you're just overdoing it a little bit, you know. If you're gonna put seasoning on the top, why put seasoning in the crust? I'm gonna add my parsley now. Then I'm gonna add my basil. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm going to add my adobo. Next, I'm going to add some pepperoni. It's going to be real cute. Some pepperoni on there. Like pepperoni? If you like pepperoni, I'm going to put a lot on here. A lot of pepperoni. Fill it up with pepperoni.
You can add whatever toppings you like. This cauliflower pizza crust can hold up almost as well as a regular pizza dough. Pizza.
Doesn't that look wonderful? Almost done. My grandson Malachi loves pepperoni. So I put an extra pepperoni on there for you, Malachi. There you go. That looks so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to add my cheese.
That was a lot of garlic powder that fell out just now.
You can add any kind of cheese you want. This is mozzarella. I think that's the Italian accent, supposedly.
It's my time to say, this is how we're living. I'm just trying to have
Adding
some
that
fun, y'all.
cheese,
Don't
y'all.
hate on me.
Mmm. That's the shredded mozzarella. Now I'm going to put a little bit more sauce on the top. Just for cute. Just to spruce it up a little bit. A little bit more sauce on the top. Boom, boom, boom. Don't want to make it too wet. Wow, that is gorgeous. And just a little bit more parsley.
Now, of course, all these ingredients can
Bada
be
bing,
altered
bada
or
boom, boom.
modified. You can put on your pizza whatever
And let's
you
put
want.
this puppy back in the
Just
oven.
make it a plain pizza without cheese, or pizza without sauce. You do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. 45 minutes later. Oh, doesn't that look delicious? But that's for another episode.
Doesn't that look delicious? I should have did this before I started baking it. Smart idea, guys, is to cut this off. The excess paper. Before you start baking. Yeah. It looks delicious.
Look at that, folks. It turned out really nice, and it tastes so delicious. You guys have to try this recipe.
This is the end of my video. I have a small pizza that I made right here with cauliflower, and this is the vegetarian one. And I also have a large pizza right here made with pepperoni. Feel free to try these recipes. I'm quite sure you'll enjoy them. And if you're low carb
diet,
yes, this recipe is for you. Dinner together. Touche.
Bon appetit.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please remember to hit that notification bell. That way when my videos pop up, you'll be one of the first to know. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.